changes.
Hey, what's going on, Rockstars? Welcome into the RockstarFlipper YouTube channel. It's Thursday, February 14th, 2019, Valentine's Day, and I did not have a live stream. I apologize. Everyone's gonna give me a bunch of stuff for this, but no live show tonight. We went out, and so there was no live show, and I should have announced it. I apologize. We'll make it up tomorrow. Friday, February 15th. Anyways, today was a huge story. So you remember a couple months ago I did a report where Amazon announced headquarters 2, HQ2. Their corporate office is in Seattle, Washington. That's just outside of where their CEO, Jeff Bezos, lives in Medina, Washington. That's also happens to be where billionaire Bill Gates lives. Very rich area. They live outside of Seattle, so that's where their corporate headquarters are. They decided to open a second headquarter, and Amazon actually decided to split it between 2 locations. And so there was a big competition over the course of the last year, over all of 2018, and they finally announced that the 2 winning cities were on Long Island, New York, and in Crystal City, Virginia, which is just outside of DC. The DC location makes perfect sense because political reasons. Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post. He's political. He needs political help in order to change laws that help his business, etc., etc., etc. The New York business kind of made sense because Jeff wanted to be on the East Coast. Obviously, his other headquarters is on the West Coast. He wants one on the East Coast. Some people thought it might be in the middle of the country, but the East Coast made the most sense. So once he got Crystal City, Virginia, why another one in New York? Why not Miami in the Southeast, or why not Dallas, or why not New Orleans? And so anyways, we'll fast forward to February 14th here on Valentine's Day, and Amazon has announced they are backing out of the deal to open a second location, headquarter location in Long Island, New York. And the reason is because when they announced that they were going to open this location in New York City and Long Island, it came with a lot of protests and a lot of backlash. And why were people protesting and backlashing Amazon opening a headquarters, a location that could possibly hire 5, 10, 15,000 new employees? The big draw of Amazon coming to a region was tons of new jobs, tons of good economy, tons of money, tons of taxes, etc., etc. So why would any area not be happy with Jeff Bezos and Amazon coming to town like Long Island, New York was not happy about it? Well, that question is a great question. Why would they be unhappy? So one of the major reasons why Amazon had such opposition in New York City is because of the raising of real estate prices to everyday people. And so basically when Amazon comes in and there's it turns out there's 25,000 new jobs per city. That's 50,000 total new jobs. A whole lot of people want to move to New York, to Staten Island, in Long Island, to be able to be close to get these jobs. And so that makes the real estate and the rent prices go through the roof. And that's good because people that live there are gonna be able to sell their houses or rent their properties for a lot of money. But that's bad because a lot of people that wanna stay living there are not going to be able to afford to live there. And so that was one of the pushbacks. The other pushback was around incentives and taxes. So in order to lure businesses into their states like Texas and New York and California typically offer business incentives and deductions. So Texas is one of the big ones where you can move to Texas, take your company, move it from wherever you are into Texas, and sometimes they'll give you years and years of tax-free business. So essentially you can save thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, in Amazon's case, billions of dollars, simply by moving into a state. So New York offers not quite that good of incentives, but good incentives to where like they'll give them tax breaks and real estate property tax breaks and all these different discounts for them to come in. Well, the problem with that is they move in, everything goes up, and now they're not paying their fair share like every other business would. They're putting other businesses out of business who are not required to pay the same amount of money and the same amount of taxes that Amazon might be required to pay based on their amount of income. Now, of course, the numbers are exponentially different, but assuming each company made $1,000, mom and pop might have to pay $500 in taxes, and Amazon might only have to pay $50 in taxes. And so it's not fair. It makes it unequal competition. And so that was a huge amount of the protest and the backlash against Amazon opening headquarters 2 in New York on Long Island. And even though New York is the hub, the central hub of the US, of the world. It's one of the biggest financial districts and business commerce centers of, the entire global community. Even Amazon could make it. And people are coming back. Mayor Bill de Blasio is saying that it's, Amazon's loss. And I gotta be honest, even with the discounts that New York offered Amazon, I gotta imagine this is a loss on New York City, because if you have a company coming to your area who should be paying $1 billion in taxes, and you say, hey, I'm gonna cut you a break and I'm just gonna charge you $750 million instead of $1 billion, you're still making $750 billion instead of $1 trillion, or $750 million instead of $1 billion. Take what you can get, because otherwise you end up where New York and Long Island is right now, and you get zero. It's the old adage that 50% of $1 billion is better than 0% of 100, because 0% of anything is zero, and 50% of something is 50%. And so while you should never underprice yourself and underestimate your value and your worth, you have to take what's available, because at the end of the day, the alternative is a big fat goose egg. And that's what's happened here in New York. And Crystal City, Virginia, Northern Virginia, DC area is going to reap the benefits. Also, Amazon's opening a location, corporate office in Nashville for 5,000 jobs, 10% of the total of the other 2 locations. And according to Jeff Bezos, they're not reopening a project to find a new second location. They don't care. New Jersey, Newark tried to reach out to them and say, hey, come to us instead of New York. You're still where you want to be, just across the river. And they said, yeah, we're not really interested. So I find this kind of humorous. I find it not surprising. Jeff Bezos does what he wants, and when somebody ticks him off, I mean, you literally could say, listen, I don't have candy and strawberry, I only have it in the 87 other flavors, and he will lose his mind and roll out. And so I'm not really surprised by this at all. Whatever New York said or did to him was just like, I'm out. And when you're the richest guy in the world, you kind of have the ability to do that. I mean, who's gonna stop him? Who's gonna say something? Who's gonna do something about it? He's the guy with the money. And in business, at the end of the day, the guy with the money wins. The guy with the money always wins. Whatever the deal is, whether it's 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, 100 million, or 100 billion, the guy with the money always wins. Remember that business lesson for you. The guy with the money always wins. And so Jeff Bezos wins, and New York's out the money, and he'll find another way to run his company and another place to locate it. And if it just happens to be Crystal City, Virginia, Northern Virginia, then that's what it is. And if it's Nashville, it's Nashville. If it's only Seattle, it's Seattle. If he decides to run that business in Mozambique, then so be it, they'll win. And Long Island, New York is out hundreds of millions of dollars in income and taxes and real estate values, and that's their loss, and they'll regret it in the long run. I truly believe that. So I'm curious what you guys think. Put in the comment section. Tell me what you think about Bezos. Tell me what you think about this decision, about them rolling out, about losing 25,000 jobs, and about the real estate values, and just whatever you guys think. I really value your opinion, and I read them, and even if I don't respond to each and every one, I try, and I definitely do read each comment, even if I don't get to actually type or reply to it. So I appreciate it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your Valentine's Day. Hopefully you enjoyed your day. We'll be back tomorrow with a live show. I will join you then. And if you need to join the private group, $49 for the whole year, link right below. It'll be the top link. I would love to have you. Can't wait to have you. You get all the bolos, all of our private help, the group, everything, an entire year for $49, including private member only Q&As, videos, content, and news like this, which only appear in that group. And we hope to have you a part of that for the rest of the year. And until next time, guys, make sure you like this video, make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you next time, tomorrow, Friday night live show. I'll see you then, 9 p.m. I think. Until then, good night, and I'll see you then.